What's going on, everybody? So today is Tuesday. Memorial Weekend is over. I'm sure many of the people who I view came back from Miami or whatever other vacation they came from, and they're going back to work and probably tired as hell. But I had a good time in DC. It's quite a few events, better locations, bigger clubs in DC. And I mean, it was a good time. I mean, I got to see Melanie Fiona. I got to hear Trina because I didn't go in and see her because it was just too packed. So I just had a great time. Met somebody new, and I think we'll be friends at the least. And I think this weekend just made me so grateful, like in thought. And I say that not because of the events going on in DC, but because of the things and the happenings that I experienced this weekend. Starting off the week, I went and I talked to my father, and I was telling him how grateful I am for him and my mother. And, normally we don't sit down and have conversations like that. And I was telling him that because, I finished reading Stop Acting Niggardly, and I started reading a new book. And I'm sure many, if not all of you, have heard of this book called The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. And it's pretty deep. Like, I'm only at the end of the second chapter, but already off the first chapter, I felt like this book was talking to me because I was guilty of some of the things in that book, as far as like being a quote unquote educated Negro and distancing myself from my own community by shopping in areas where black people don't typically shop, or going all the way to Virginia, which isn't that far from me. It's only across the river, but I go to Virginia to get my groceries because I don't like going to the grocery store that's down the street from me because I just feel like it's so ghetto and run down. And I mean, it's just like with the reading and everything else, I just feel like this year, the end of 2010, beginning of 2011, has been a humbling experience for myself. And I was telling my father this because, I appreciate all the things that he was trying to tell me when I was younger, and I was too hard-headed to listen because now I'm seeing the proof in the pudding of what he was telling me. And it's just real. And I don't think I've talked to God so much in my head this weekend because a couple days ago, I got put in a tricky situation where I felt like I was about to get carjacked. Real talk, like I really felt like I was about to get carjacked. Like sometimes you just have this feeling like something is about to go wrong. Like when I got pulled over for speeding and I had been drinking, I was just like, that's it, I know this is about to go to hell. And it definitely did for a year. So I'm sitting at the light and this guy pulls up next to me, and he's in I think it was a Crown Victoria. Or it was either a Crown Vic or a Grand Marquis, but I'm pretty sure it was a Crown Victoria. Older one. And the guy, he's like, roll down your window. So I roll my window down or whatever, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, how much gas how much it costs to fill your tank? Oh, it's nice. Does it fit 4 people comfortably? And mind you, when I look in his car, he has 4 people in his car. And, he's complimenting me on my car. He's like, oh, that's nice. And I'm just thinking, okay, like, all right, thanks. And granted, I drive a Scion TC. There's plenty of them on the road. Maybe he mistaked it for Infiniti G35 coupe. 37 coupe because I mean it is kind of shaped a little similar for somebody who's not into cars, but I just felt like it was a threatening situation because one, it was like almost 1 in the morning, and I mean it's not the best of neighborhoods that I was in. I was dropping one of my friends off, and once I pulled off from the light, the guy got from my left lane behind me, and I put on my blinker to turn into my friend's complex, and he puts on his blinker to turn into my friend's complex. And it was like at that moment, I'm like, I look over to my friend and I'm like, dude, I think I'm about to get carjacked. So he's like, what did he say? What did he say? I'm like, dude, he was just complimenting my car, and now he's following me into your goddamn complex. So I end up going the opposite way that I normally go because it's like his complex is set up like a big ass oval with, you know, apartment buildings in the center, apartment buildings on the right and the left, and I go the opposite direction that I normally would go. And thank God it was two cops sitting down there talking or whatever. So I drop him off there, and I hurry up and get the fuck out of his neighborhood because I'm tripping out. And like I was just thinking the whole ride home, like, you know, I know something was gonna go down. Like, you know, my spidey senses was tingling. And I was just thanking God, like, thank you for getting me out of that situation because I could be at the least without a car right now, at the most without a life. I think we just, like our people, we just really, really need to get our shit together. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many things going on out here that we do to each other. Like, we tear each other down, we rob each other, we kill each other, and it's just stupid. Like, we've been here for so long, and we're the majority in jail. We're the majority getting HIV. We're the majority with high blood pressure. We're the majority with heart disease. We're the majority not eating well. And, you know, if we're not killing ourselves with bullets, we're killing ourselves with chicken boxes and chitlins. I don't eat that shit. It's just crazy, like, you know. And I try to say to my friends, like, look, we've been here well over 400 years. Why is it that people from other nationalities, ethnicities, come to this country because they want a better life for themselves? And within like 2 generations, they right on track. And Latinos are well on their way. And when I say Latinos, I mean more so Mexicans and people from other South American countries. By next generation, they will be well on their way. Meanwhile, we still doggy paddling in the pool while everybody else is doing the breaststroke and the backstroke. What are we doing? And there's 2 reasons. One, because they come here hungry, seeing the opportunity that we have. And I think we are so used to the opportunity. It's like a kid who grows up rich and is spoiled. You know, when they get older, most of them don't amount to shit. Whereas the kid who comes out the ghetto, who is hungry for success, doesn't want to be living like that anymore, is the one that goes for it. And it's like we're the rich, full kids, even though we don't feel rich because we've had this around us. And it's like, yeah, okay, we went through slavery. That's good. Know your history. Be smart about your history. But at the same time, people, come on. Get your shit together. Like, stop blaming everything on slavery and the man and all this other stuff, because I shouldn't be driving around at night fearing for my life. You know, I don't drive a luxury car. Like, I drive a car that's fast that I like because that's the car I wanted. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to worry about people stealing from me or tearing me down when I rise up. And I realize that, and I'm making changes with myself so I don't make the same mistakes. Like, we really need to get it together, stop making excuses, and start doing. For real. We really, really, really need to get it together. And I think, you know, I think those are my two messages this this video. Just be grateful and get on your shit. Like, don't make excuses. Excuses are for the weak. Peace out.